first challenge is the hidden cost of eroded accountability. So really, that happens with, and exactly what Amy just shared, blurry ownership. When priorities shift weekly, teams lose clarity on who owns what. And so, often people are busy. On the surface, you see the busyness, but there might not be actual things happening. And so decisions stall because no one wants to own the outcome. And teams, focus on the activity as opposed to the results. And so in looking at the ownership, what happens when nobody owns it is, things are duplicated, there's finger pointing, there's missed handoffs. And then the next one is the execution drag. So leaders spend up to 30% of their time reclarifying roles and chasing follow-up on commitments. And so there's a level of the commitment that individuals make. I think that that's an important aspect to make sure that your team is committed. Have those conversations with them. Those are the one-on-ones that we talk about all the time, just to find out what's going on with your team. If you've got a team member that is challenged and has something else going on that's stopping them, find out what's really happening. And then also retention and engagement impact. That's one of those hidden costs. So the high performers burn out because they're carrying the load, and it triggers really avoidable turnover and leadership fatigue. I think that, sometimes the choices we make, we decide if we're going to stay where we're at or if we're going to make a change. I've seen a lot of folks leave organizations just because they feel like they're carrying that load and there's no one else helping out to be able to alleviate that or take a deeper look at it. So what happens is a cultural fallout. So it's really subtle, but the message sends it's okay to just let things slide. So it really undermines trust and psychological safety across departments. One of the action steps that we suggest is the 3A framework is awareness, alignment, and action. And so the challenge it solves is the lack of role clarity and the execution breakdowns. So the first one is we're actually being able to diagnose where accountability currently is breaking down, whether it's individuals, whether it's the structure, whether it's departmental, and create visibility on the decisions and actually the success metrics. And the alignment is about reconnecting each team member's role to the organization's top 3 strategic outcomes, perhaps for 2026 moving forward. And alignment eliminates the it's not my job. Their action is to move from meetings to measurable commitments. And Amy, that kind of taps into what you said, is that, you can have a million meetings, but what's actually coming out of that? And use dashboards so that everybody can see. Or maybe you have a 15-minute huddle where you're tracking ownership and progress and everybody can see what's actually happening and to be able to include them in that process too. So the outcome is really immediate or very close to immediate clarity. There's no ambiguity about who owns what, and the execution then accelerates as everyone really is pulling in the same direction.